won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome into Pregaming here on the Sports Money Network. Happy Tuesday to everybody. January the 20th, already through 20 days of January. Christmas feels like it's right around the corner, doesn't it? We're almost there. Time is flying when you're making money, and that's what we're here to do tonight. So I appreciate all you guys tuning in, ready to rock with us. Going to be a fun card. Had a fun night last night watching that national championship. Good game. Indiana comes out on top, busted everybody up. One of the best teams, they sang, at least in the last 25 years. So that's a hell of an accomplishment, and congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers. We had fun. We were live betting. We were sweating. We were getting after it. We were betting all over the board. That's what we do on those live shows. Hopefully you guys were able to join us. Didn't get the under by the hook. Did get the Miami Hurricanes plus 7.5. So, listen, bittersweet. Happy to see college football was such a great college football playoff. Hopefully they figured the formula out, because if it took some trickery to knock out Notre Dame and put Miami in there to give us the product that they were able to deliver, then I am all for it. I'll knock out Notre Dame twice on Sunday. How about that? As far as craziness out there. We had a lot of fun, though. Big winning night last night. Always fun to get that cash for you guys. And tonight we're going to go back after it. We've got 3 NHL games. I'll break down the Sharks and the Lightning, the Senators, the Jackets, and the Rangers and the Kings. If you like totals, tonight's your show when it comes to the NHL. I'm going to go into college hoops. We'll talk North Carolina State versus Clemson, Georgia versus Missouri, and then Auburn and Ole Miss. I'll wrap it up with 2 games in the NBA, the Lakers and the Nuggets, and the Heat and the Kings. You know what we're going to be doing here. We're going to look at cash flow, splits, the market analysis. How are the lines reacting to that cash coming in? We're going to look at trends and angles. We're going to look at injuries and anything else that might float our boat, scheduling matchups, and all the other one-off things that we do here to make this one of the most profitable and successful shows on social media. Anybody can tell you this team's 3-1 on the road. Can they use predictive analytics to give you winning sports betting tickets? And that's what we are here to do. So, busy week ahead. Sadly, won't be back here tomorrow. I don't think I'll be back tomorrow. I think I've earned the day tomorrow with this root canal that I have. So maybe I'll get up early and play a free play of the day, but you'll find my action over at Winnable. Had a nice night on Winnable last night. Felt like it was worth shouting it out. And I did put some Australian Open plays out there. So there's some Australian Open. I'll probably get back to the Australian Open tonight. I know it starts at 7. There's somebody that I already have my mind set on here. Let's see. Let's take a look at what we started out sluggish on Winnable. And for that matter, on the premium tab here, the post tab at Sports Money on the YouTube channel here. Didn't get our Clippers over, didn't get our Atlanta Hawks over, but we did cash the Phoenix Suns minus 8.5. That was the Instagram free play of the day. So we cashed another one of those. We split college football with the 1-1 situation, but we did cash our teaser. So we ended up going 2-1 in college football, plus 13.5, and the under 53.5 got there for us. So that was a 2-1 day on the football front. We went 3-1 in the NHL. We cashed the over 5.5 in the Toronto-Minnesota game. We cashed the Islanders. We cashed the under 6 in Calgary. That was a nice little 2-1 finish, I think was the final there. We lost the Winnipeg Jets against the Chicago Blackhawks. The big takeaway for me there, got to reflect on the wins, got to reflect on the losses. The big takeaway for me was, should have been on the Blackhawks as a dog. Commented on it, didn't play it. Went 2-0 in college hoops. Florida A&M minus 11.5 and Dartmouth cash for us. And then cashed the, I guess it was the play of the day, the Boston Celtics under 223.5. So pretty solid day over on Winnable. And of course, can't have one without the other. We had a fire day over here on the pre-gaming side of things as well. some redundancy, some plays that I gave out over there for the premium side that I did give out over here as well. We cashed Providence plus 2.5. They lost by 1. That means that we cashed. I mentioned that Suns minus 8.5 spot. The Suns, let's go out there. We cashed the over 5.5 in the Minnesota-Toronto game. The under 47 didn't get there for us in the College Football National Championship game, but the New Orleans team total over 71.5. Easy cash. Remember them New Orleans boys. I told you. Potential indictment. Those guys are under the microscope. There's that Florida A&M minus 11.5, and then flatline the final 2 plays out there. Detroit minus 2.5. Should have been Detroit money line. We know them Celtics are soft, but Detroit just didn't have enough to get on top of them boys last night. And the Rangers lose 5-3 to the Anaheim Ducks. So all in all, not a bad day. Getting that profit, grinding. We're professional grinders here at the Sports Money Network and trying to do it again tonight. So I'm looking forward to sharing the plays with you guys. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in to rock with us here. I'll give you the brief overview of the week. You can already go out there and find the VB MMA picks, break down one of the world-renowned UFC cappers, given 3 breakdowns. He's got Liam Fight Picks joining him for this week to talk about the three fights on the main event, on the main card. So UFC 324 will be back and underway. You can go start doing some breakdown, hear the analysis from them boys out there already on the Sports Money tab. Of course, you can find the Instagram play of the day on the gram. I'm going to put that out there on a regular basis for you guys. You will find up and coming, probably Thursday, I'm thinking, will be first strike breakdown for us here. You know, I like to be consistent, but going under the knife. So listen, I'm not looking to come out here and drool and be, I mean, I will drool. Don't get me wrong with these late night streams, but not after getting my gums cut open. So we'll see what that looks like. But Thursday we'll be back programming as scheduled. We will be ready to fire away. We're going to get you guys set up for the live show, UFC 324, Paramount Plus. If you haven't signed up, get yourselves ready. We should all finally have addressed the situation of spoiler alerts. They suck. I don't care. I said this before. I'm a one source fucking guy, and I don't believe in spoiler alerts. Why would you want to go to a movie if someone's watching it on their phone, telling you what happens 60 seconds before it happens? You wouldn't want to do it. And so I'm excited that I think the UFC will play. I don't know. I got big expectations for what this Paramount Plus thing looks like, but I just don't buy into that spoiler alert stuff. I just don't think it's just not good for the product. It's not good for the brand. It's not good for what we're trying to do. And if we can move away from it, that's why I get excited about the Amazon Prime days. Have a ton of fun when we're all watching it at the same time. No one's spoiling it. No one's a play ahead of me. I'll watch it on replay. Oh man, my internet is getting quirky. It's got the worky going on right now. It's a little quirky as we get this thing going here, but that should put a bow on this week for you guys. Give you a little expectation of what's ahead on the Sports Money Network. Blake M says, you get the crown on a tooth. They told me they could save the tooth. I don't know. Redbeard says your live streams are all about spoilers. My dude, I hate it, Redbeard. I tell these fucking guys it's too much. It ruins the product. They don't care. Hard-headed. It's okay. It's all fun. It's all fun. It's all games. I don't mind it as much when there's a bunch of games going on. You know, like if you're going to try to ruin football for me, then go watch hockey. And that way it's all good. You know what I mean? But when it's just the UFC, when it's just you get so sucked into the moment. I don't want you telling me a guy got karate kicked in the face a minute and a half before it happened. I want to see that in real time. So I'm very hopeful. I'm very optimistic that's the case. I've looked at the card. I'm fired up. I'm so excited that the UFC's back because that 6-7 week hiatus, man, that definitely cost me. Probably in the vicinity of 5 figures. Yeah, probably. Ugh, it's the first time I really thought about it like that. Ugh. It's okay though. It's back. We're ready to attack. I hope you guys are as well. Make sure you take that second to smash the thumbs up button. Let's continue to support the cause, support the squad, support the Sports Money Network, SMN here. We're trying to give you guys free plays. I'm busting my ass to give you guys content on a daily basis. And when I say content, I mean not just go play this team, but reasoning behind it. I try to give you a trend. You guys know how I do it by this point in time. And you can find it over on Instagram. Keeping track, keeping a regular basis here. We just continue to fire. We are on fire, as a matter of fact. We are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 1 in our last 7 free plays on the gram. 6 and 1. I was laughing the other day to you guys. I said, it feels like we'll lose one, and then it feels like, boom, we're right back into a 7-1 streak again. And that's not coincidence. You know the difference? We see Twitter cappers, everyone's 7-1 in their last 8 on Twitter, right? Then you go and you buy their packages or you follow their services, and what do they give you? 3 and 4 in their next 7, and you just can't make money with it. But when you look back at it, it's like, Jesus, we're always 7-1 in our last 8. It's because very rarely do we have that fall off where we stack back-to-back losses. We are one of the best goddamn bounce back teams in the social media business. So I do appreciate everybody that's here supporting us on a regular basis. All medal levels, bronze, silver, and gold. I gave the silver and gold members today a free play. It was a winner in the Champions League. Both teams are scoring over 2.5 goals in that Ajax game. So we're already starting the day off on the right foot. All I need you guys to do to get us keeping us moving in the right direction is to hit that thumbs up button. Help us share the cause. Help us promote the brand. Help us crack this YouTube code, and let's continue to bring in new viewers. We're almost to that 2,000 mark. We just crossed over 1,900. Fired up to be here with you guys. Take a second if you haven't done so and smash the thumbs up button. Big numbers. I see some of you guys are already talking about some of these games in the chat. So get your best bets out there. It's my favorite part of it, to see what you guys are involved with. Maybe we agree, maybe we disagree, but that's what makes it so much fun. So let's see who's here checking in. It's Jover. Jover's got some work to do to get his 99.6% first comment ratio back, but he's back. He says he's going to take the Sabres Predators first period over 1.5. He's going to go Blues and Jets over 6 for our guy Jover. Jover's back in the house. Blake M is here checking in. Says, let's get to work. Mr. Weskers, what do you think of the Gators minus 15? I put it out there on the premium side of things for Instagram. Or not, no, not for Instagram. For Winnable. For Winnable, I put it out there, Mr. Weskers. And look, they're that big a favorite for a reason. Redbeard says, Suns money line, Miami, Ohio money line. Miami, How can you not go Miami, after I talked about the leader of the Great Lakes Native American battle against the rebellious early American colonialists? I mean, come on. This is the first day they're in battle since we talked about the great leader of the Native American. I don't know if he's a great leader or not. I'm just assuming when you get, like 10, 12 Native American tribes together and they anoint one guy, the chief of the Miamis, to lead the squad, I assume he's got to be a pretty good leader or a visionary or at least a good fucking talker, right? Blake M says Minnesota plus 8.5 for him to start. Bo Jackson likes the Spurs money line. There's Nicholas Handy checking in. Bo Jackson says Jazz can upset, but still take him to cover plus 14.5 for Bo Jackson in the house. Mr. Weskers, appreciate you. AJ's here. AJ, I did get you extended for the month. I told you that with your winning of the duck race. 9 Legacy says, let's get it, baby. Paid in full parlay of the day is Missouri money line, Ole Miss money line, Oklahoma money line, Wake Forest money line for our guy 9 Legacy. Let's take a look at that. Missouri, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Wake Forest. I'm going to head that in a couple of those, my friend. I can't root for you, but I'm going to root for you in spirit, if you know what I'm saying. Peter Grassi is here. Redbeard says your live streams are all about spoilers. Dude, I can't stand them. I really can't. Like I said, I'm optimistic. I don't want to be I've been let down before. I don't want to be let down here. But I'm hoping if we're all watching them on Paramount Plus at the same time, that we should be in the same vicinity, at least within a couple seconds of each other, right? That seems reasonable. Shout out to Gary's in the house. Fernando Mendoza says Jazz team total under 116.5 for his bet this morning. Bet at this AM. Robert McCormick's here. Jerry Davis says, Mike, I didn't see it until almost half and got plus 155. I think you're talking about the soccer play, right? Because it was like 0-0 at halftime, wasn't it? And I was like, fuck. Phil the Kill says, I didn't forget our history lesson involving the Miami tribe. Oh, man, you got to go Miami O. There's a premium look for you guys as well here this evening. Why not, man? What are they, 16-0, beating the shit out of everybody? Small road favorite, but it doesn't seem to matter this week or this year for that matter. We talk about some of these ranked versus unranked. It's kind of flipped the script from year over year situations. Mr. Wesker says, where are the Ramones now? You looking at me? Tony Soprano. Peter Grassi says, Mikey, did I hear surgery for you? No worry. The anesthesia and post-op pain control drugs are amazing. So I'll tell you, I used to consider Vicodins and Percocets my drinking pills. They helped me stay up drinking all night. And I'd fire them down. I'd smoke, I'd drink. It didn't matter. It was fucking party. Rockstar, dude. Fucking burn out by 27. Turns out that didn't happen. And so I don't take the Percocets and Vicodins like I used to. You know what I mean? I don't know. Obviously, I'm a little apprehensive about the situation. Dale thinks as Mikey get a diamond grill. Gator. Gator want his cat back. Irish King says, where's the bags? Let's get the bags. Mr. Wesker says, Vicodin, a gift from the gods. Yeah, I wouldn't argue with you. I don't know. It's not the initial, because I told you before, I got the tooth thing and the guy was jacking in there and with his fucking drill bit and it wasn't fully numbed up. So it hurt, right? And it hurt for 3 months. I mean, that was a legitimate hurt for 3 months where it was like finally one day I woke up, thank goodness, 3 months later and it was gone. But it's that second day. It's the third day. Fourth day that get me. And, all right. Speaking of information piling in later in the day. Okay. Sharp perspective betting information just coming through. Oh, yeah, I could definitely get. I knew this was going to be on the play. Sometimes you just know. Sometimes you just. So leverage tools, technology, and then the expertise, right? It's the experience that kind of brings it all together. You get burned once or twice, you're like, fuck, I'm not going to do that again, right? We've all been there. And then sometimes you look at some of this information and you're like, yeah, you know what? That one's going to make the report. It did. It qualified. I'll share it with you guys as well here. We'll give you a little bonus play in the NHL. Let's get to work. Let's get after it. I don't want to talk about this fucking root canal anymore. I'm just hoping that I don't even know if they put you out. Do they even put you out? They just numb you. I remember when I had my wisdom teeth taken out. I hope it's nothing like that. I mean, that was a long time ago, so I'm sure the process of oral surgery has become much more efficient and effective, but nobody wants to have that. I mean, let's be honest. Sitting there like this, wider. I mean, that sucks, dude, right? You get that pain in the jaw. Come on, you guys know the deal here. Let's talk about some NHL hockey. Let's go to the San Jose Sharks and the Tampa Bay Lightning to kick off our card this evening. We will be here to give you guys the action, the lowdown, the showdown here this evening so we can try to get this cash and build these bags, if you will, here. Also, shout out to my DK advisor. Made sure that I was taken care of for UFC. Wanted to remind me that the UFC's on Paramount. Plus, and then give me a nice big credit to pay for Paramount Plus. I thought it was a really fucking great start to the day. Not only that, but then we cashed that soccer play. So I feel like I'm 2-0 kicking this thing off. I feel like I got good vibes rolling forward as we look at this NHL game here. And I got to do it. It's Vasilevsky. It's Askarov on the other side for the San Jose Sharks. This guy's 3.52 goals against average with an 89% save percentage. Traditionally, I have told you guys that I don't believe anybody should be a $3 favorite. However, Askarov's coming off a loss. 3 goals on 42 shots. I'm sorry, on 24 shots. That wouldn't have been so bad. 4-2 loss to Detroit on Friday. Now, Friday takes the L. Won last night against the Florida Panthers. Got to respect it. Second leg of a back-to-back. Tampa Bay Lightning coming into this thing. And probably, by the way, I looked. Vegas and Toronto to play as the Stanley Cup finalists are 100-1 right now. 100-1. I looked at that this morning. I couldn't find anything for Detroit and Spurs. I could only find each team to win their respective conferences, and that was like 65-1. And I believe if you parlay those 3 events, right? Detroit to win the East, Spurs to win the West, and then Vegas versus Toronto is the matchup for the NHL. I think it was like 2,800-1. So a buck would win you 2,800, essentially, is what I was looking at with that spot. So anyhow, I digress because a lot of people think Tampa Bay is the team to go out there and do it. And look at right now, you absolutely can't argue with success. And it comes by way of just a fucking firestorm of shots on goal. And those shots on goal with effective shooters create not just scoring opportunities, but pucks. Over the last 10 games, 4.3 goals per game. Also playing sound defense, allowing only 2.2 goals per game. So one of the best scoring clips across the NHL in a 10-game sample of any team all season long. The San Jose Sharks are allowing 3.7 goals a game over their last 10. They're struggling with a goalie that's struggling. They'll lay the puck line. Just seems like it's an opportunity. I know it's like one of those spots where we're looking at it going, well, why have the rules changed a little bit? I think the rules change. You ebb and flow as seasons go. And I mean, with regard to, some spots, we want to lay -2.5 and get a +150 price tag out there. But this year, especially the Sharks on the puck line, it's a tricky, treacherous slope here. So to get these boys to win by 2 for Tampa, well, I think they've got the goals for in their favor and the goals against to the other side. Still got to respect it. Still got to look at it. Still got to recognize what's going on out there with it. And I got to do something really quick while we're here together. Let me send this out there. And I wish I had somebody to do this piece right here. This piece. I like to get in the game. Let them know we're here. You guys know the deal. We're rocking. We're rolling. We're moving on to the next game in the NHL. It's going to be the Ottawa Sabres and the Columbus Blue Jackets. So we got a run line or puck line, as the case may be. Peter Grassi says, root canal's nothing now. It used to be a big deal. Not anymore. You'll be fine. I hope so, my dude. I hope so. Shout out to Shark. There he is. Shark Butters Nation. Check it in. He's reposting the stream for us. Of course, you can follow my guy, giving you guys his NBA breakdowns early in the day out there over on X with Sharky Waters Nation. Excited to have my guy working with me in the NFL. Can't wait to give you guys the last 2 games of the the playoffs here before we get to the big Super Bowl battle. The Ottawa Senators and Columbus Blue Jackets. This ain't no Super Bowl battle, but it should be one if you like goals. And who doesn't? Who doesn't want to see the puck find the back of the net? They've got James Reimer, 3.93 goals against average, going for the Ottawa Senators. Now, I've talked about the story. I'm a one-source guy. I don't care. Makes it more fun that way. Linus Ullmark, still away from the team. Why is that important? Because they signed Reimer earlier this month, 37 years old. He's not good. That's it. That's the breakdown for James Reamer. In fact, allowed 6 goals on 28 shots. 6-5 loss to my Rochester Americans. 78% saving. Terrible. Elvis Merzlikins starts on the Columbus Blue Jackets side. Not much better. Now, the funny part about Merzlikins is the coaching change in Columbus gets this guy more ice time. So, I don't know, that belief system. Sometimes I talk about they need the nod, right? I talked about Darcy Kemper and how he's been struggling, even though he got the nod for Olympics. So they moved Merzlikins, who was barely getting any time at all, into a steady, solid rotation situation. All of a sudden, he's won 2 straight games. He stopped 59 of 63 shots on goal. He's got almost a 94% save percentage for a guy that's averaging 88% of the season. So if you look for those little sparks, right? That's the experience. You got to look for the spark for these guys. And that's what's happening here, especially if you look at beat reporters and kind of hear some of the mojo that's going down in the land. Why did we know that Sean McDermott was going to get fired? Because 2 months ago, we heard that there was a sit down with Brandon Bean and Terry Pegula. And they wanted a battle assessment before they went to the deadline. It was clear that Bean and Pegula, Bean and McDermott weren't on the same page. The beat reporters are telling us that there's a rift. So when it comes time to be prognosticators, not just read the newspaper and tell you McDermott's going to be fired, we knew McDermott was getting fired. Stop it. No surprise to anybody. But Mr. Wesker says, one source, less is more. So in any event, you guys, that spark is where I had started this whole conversation. And I think that spark indeed we have with Columbus, but I'm not going to mess with the side. I'm going to go to the total in this one. I told you guys the prequel here was that I think this is goal fest here. The Senators are allowing 3.9 goals a game over their last 10. So we look at the macro, then we drill it into the micro, and this 10-game span shows that these guys are allowing almost 4 goals a game. Really, I mean, I talked about how bad the Sharks were. Shit, play. These Senators, really? Their offense, though, is scoring. That's probably the biggest difference here. If you look at it kind of side over side, their offense in San Jose is scoring 2.2 goals a game. Well, the Senators are 3.4 goals a game. So despite what I don't like that's happening in the rumblings behind the locker room, where I do think it gives us that opportunity to get involved is to jump in on the over. It's 6.5. It's a juiced 6.5. It makes a ton of sense. Both teams are scoring. Both teams are allowing goals. Columbus Blue Jackets allowing 3.8 goals a game. Fast-paced team that likes to go run and gun. And if you put Columbus on a 2-day rest after a win that went over versus a conference opponent, they're a perfect 8-0 to the over. That goes all the way back to March of 2023. Take the 6.5. Expect to see some fireworks in this game out there, and I will jump in there and rock and roll with you guys on the over. 6.5 in this game. And we'll go, well, you know what? I'll give you how about this? I'm a man of the people. Let me bet this, and so that we can be official. I don't even know if I put it out on. Did I put it out on Winnable? Did I put it out over on Winnable yet? I didn't. I will. I will give you guys the sharp, respected, better report for the day. Now, the SRP has kind of fallen off a little. You know, we talked about like that stretch between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It couldn't fucking miss. It's missed a few times. But I agree with the conversation and the situation tonight. They're going to go look at the Boston Bruins Dallas Stars matchup here. Jeremy Swayman starts for the Boston Bruins. Jake Ottinger starts for the Dallas Stars. Both goalies about par. This is where, all right, so I told you guys, like, I knew it, right? Like, well, sure you knew it. All right, listen. I taught you first and foremost, when you look at goaltenders, do you see a considerable advantage on one side or the other? Boston, 2.77 goals against average. Dallas, 2.75 goals against average. Kind of flush, right? Swayman, 19 and 11, right? Ottinger, 16 and 10. Pretty flush, right? I mean, I'm just looking to see, is there a big gap? Not so much, well, this guy's 1 point better or 2. Is there a big gap? Save percentage, 90.5 for Swayman, 90.1 for Ottinger. So right off the cuff, before you even dig into this any deeper, right? This is just breaking down hockey 101. Before you even dig any deeper, knowing that the game starts from the back end, you got to have a guy that keeps the puck out of the net. Let me ask you, where'd it go? There it is. In current form for this Dallas Stars team, so you're not really doing anything other than looking at goalie stats and current form. Should the Dallas Stars be a $2.25 favorite? I talked about Tampa Bay. I talked about laying the lumber out there, laying the puck line. I told you about that and why I got there. What about this Dallas Stars team tells you that? They're 1-4 in their last 5 games. They're getting busted up all over the place. It don't matter if they're home. It don't matter if they're on the road. They are not scoring goals. They did have a 4 and they did have a 3. They followed up with 3 straight 1s. 1-1-1. Boston Bruins on the other side of things, getting healthy, rolling in here on a massive winning streak. What are they won 6 in a row right now? So the Sharp Respected betting report came through here today. They jumped in on the Boston Bruins. I concur. I mean, looking at it, look at how the numbers fallen. This is where you can also kind of look at that and say Sharp Respected betting. What constitutes Sharp Respected betting? The public, 24% of the bets coming in on the Boston Bruins. The Sharps, 72% of the cash coming in on the Bruins. It dropped at 50 cents. I'm not one of those guys. Like, I was listening to randomly, I don't know if you guys know how this thing works or not, but like, you'll be watching something on Twitter or YouTube rather, and then it just brings you into another show. There's a company out there and they charge a lot of money. Fucking blows my mind. People, these fucking pirates is what they are. Swindlers. And every fucking game you can't bet it, the value's gone. What the fuck good are you doing me? I had to hear, I actually heard it so many times that I look back to be like, who is this fucking shit show? Nothing's got value anymore. It's gone. What the fuck? And they'll high five each other because they got closing line value, regardless of whether it wins or loses. I cannot believe how far we've strayed from results oriented. I mean, what the fuck? Whatever happened to meritocracy? You get recognized for performing at an exceptional rate. I couldn't believe it. But everybody's number one over there too, so I guess I'm not surprised. That being said, as I digress, it gets me all fired up here to think about this thing. But let's look at this last game. Let's talk about this last NHL spot. We will put let me make this official play first. Let me get this play in. That's the other reason I can't fucking fire off a bunch of Vicodins and then come on screen all shit-faced. I'll start popping off names. I'll start naming names. I'll start talking about where the bodies are buried. And then all of a sudden, what I look back at it 3 weeks later after some giant feud and say, I should have just probably taken the day off that day. So I'll talk on it to some degree, but the Rangers and the Kings, I want to talk on this game because we've got our favorite spot right now. It is the 5.5. And I guess I'm kind of embracing adversity with this one here because neither team is really scaring anybody from a scoring perspective, right? And at surface, my initial thought was this game kind of has under potential on it. And then I saw that 5.5. And then I realized it's Jonathan Quick. Talked the other day about Jonathan Quick. He stinks. He's 3-10-2 with a 3.13 goals against average. The LA Kings. They'll start Darcy Kemper. I've been picking on this guy because he's not very good right now. So thing about this game, though, it is, I don't know if it's a revenge game. In my opinion, Quick got his revenge against the Kings before. He was a former Los Angeles Kings, Stanley Cup winner with the Kings. Shesterkin's out. Quick goes in. Always problematic here because this guy's got a 4.43 goals against average and a 78.6% save percentage his last 5 games. It's probably a King spot, but I like the Rangers last night against the Ducks. They kind of let me down. So not kind of, they didn't win. Bottom line. So do we see a quick rebound retaliation spot out there? Then I'm not so much involved. I'm not buying it. I think they are kind of who they are and what their stats show us here because these aren't rookies. These aren't second-year players coming in. These are guys that have been in the league for a dozen plus, and they've kind of shown us who they are. The 5.5 over is 8-2 over the last 10 games. So I gave you guys that monster sample a week ago. I reran it over the last 10, and 5.5s are 8-2 to the over. And look, I don't want to get in the way of it. I'm just going to embrace it. I'm going to add in there the New York Rangers over 5.5. That's 4 plays in the NHL for you guys. We got Tampa Bay puck line, Columbus over 6.5. Added the Sharp Respected betting report information with the Boston Bruins, and then finished her off with the Rangers over 5.5. What say you guys? Peter Gracia says, remember going to the Genesee Ale? Yeah. Water from the river. Andrew K says Salah gets the Titans job. I can't believe that. I mean, I believe you. I saw it. I just can't believe that. I saw that guy coaching. Who was he coaching for? The 49ers? And I saw him on the sideline, and I was like, that fucking guy is still out there? Wasn't he blowing it for the Jets a couple of years ago? I can't remember. Gary Davis says, you're rambling, Mikey. We on Boston money line. Not rambling. I gave it to you. Mr. Wesker says, we got time. Dana Delp says, Hoosiers. Bill the Kill says, don't get Mikey Money started on other capper shenanigans. Blake M says, my Titans are still doomed, no matter what they do, in my opinion. Mr. Wesker says, Paul George out. 76ers catching -2.5 now. Redbeard says, Kevin Durant, double-double. Luka, double-double. Jamal Murray, double-double. Wembanyama, double-double. 30% boost, plus 104, 104 to 1. $5 to pay $681 for our guy, Redbeard. Go get it. Go get it, my dude. Jerry, I'm helping educate you, my dude. I'm helping educate you on what to look for when it comes to some of these scores, some of these sports. That way, next time we're head-to-head and I fire it off on you again, you'll at least know why it was coming. All right, you guys, that's it for the NHL. That's a 4-game NHL pack with a bonus play tossed in there. Of course, you can find a bonus play over the Instagram play of the day. Let's talk some college hoops right quick here. We'll get through this stuff here. I got 3 for you guys in college hoops. I got 2 for you in the NBA. Then you can go over, check out the free NBA play of the day. I'm going to talk NC State and Clemson. And here's another experience factor. Here's a spot where the experience comes into play, boys and girls. I wanted to fade North Carolina State. I looked at them right away. I said, it doesn't take much for me to have to fade want to fade North Carolina State. And then I saw, well, on top of it, they're playing Clemson, who's been firing right now. Now we have 55% of the bets and 64% of the cash on the NC State side. I think I'll reiterate it again for some of you guys that are maybe new here or just checking in for the first or second time. When we look at the percentage of bets, and this is where I think a lot of people have fallen off and how they can read cash flow splits. Like they'll look at the line and be like, that line doesn't make sense. Well, all right, stupid. Let me explain it to you. 55% of the bets constitute the public. It's all the tickets being written, right? It's parlays. It's teasers. It's dollar plays. Don't disrespect to unit shaming anybody here. Dollar bets, $2 bets, $5 bets, $10. It's the whole soup. It's every ticket being printed. Generally, a lot of public factor goes into that. Then we look at the cash. And the cash are those guys that drag a big backpack full of money into a casino and drop it on a spot and say, go get the bank manager. I want to override the minimums and the limits, and I want to get this big pile of cash on this spot. And those generally are going to be sharper bettors. Now, they might not necessarily be the sharpest bettors in the box, but they might be syndicates. They might be those conglomerates. They might be just professionals. Doesn't matter. They're sharp, respected bettors. And in this case here, bigger money coming in on NC State. Line's not really moving. There's some 2.5s out there. There's some 3.5s out there. Over 145.5s have dumped all the way down to 140.5. You've got 46% of the bets and 45% of the cash on the under. And yet, they're still taking tickets on the over. And the line continues to plummet. So I told you, it doesn't take much for me to fade this NC State side of things here for a couple of reasons. One, they're not consistent. You know, you look at their recent performance, they'll bag a win, they'll take a couple losses. They'll bag 2 wins, they'll take a loss. On the road, particularly, they are sus. And then some. And look at their recent performances. They go on the road, they steal a win against Florida State. I mean, 113-69. What the fuck actually happened in that game? I had to go back and look at tape. Definitely wasn't a Florida State spot. And then they beat up Boston College. Okay. Those are always gritty, grinding games. Boston College just kind of not very good. in the ACC, but they'll fight with everybody. Now you look at Clemson. They beat the shit out of everybody. Just winning, covering, winning, covering. Pittsburgh, at Pittsburgh, win, cover. SMU, win, cover. Notre Dame, win, blowout win, cover. There's that BC team, that pesky BC team that fights with everybody. Busted them up. Stole their girls from them. Ugly. 24-point win, 15.5-point favorite. Miami, 10-point win, 4.5-point favorite. That's Clemson. So I want to fade NC State, and you guys might sit there and go, well, why? Well, previous instances, my lack of ability to rely on these fucking scumbags, bottom line. And guess what? I looked into it. So is it just a me thing? Or do we need to flush out some data to see if it's really the case? No, it's really the case. This is where the experience, once again, puts the pen to paper. If you fade NC State against the ACC going all the way back to 2019, you're 78-38 fading them boys. You're 8-2 in the last 10, and I am fading NC State. I told you multiple times, I don't take much for me to want to fade these fucking pile of garbage. And this is one of them spots. What's wrong with the Wolfpack? They're in the ACC. They should be playing in the fucking Sun Belt. So that's what's wrong with the Wolfpack. That's why I'm going to fade the NC State side of things. And sometimes you just need that little, I don't know, is it accreditation? Is it bias confirmation? What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Validation, I guess, is what it comes down to, and saying, yep, I knew it was the right thing to do. I'm not getting on the NC State side of things. I will fade them boys. And then you go back and now start looking at Clemson. I just mentioned their wins and covers, their monster run out there. Some people might say, well, 2.5 scares them a little bit. I guess maybe I'm evolving a little bit. Doesn't mean that they win. Probably means that NC State fucks me again and ends up beating Clemson. But that being said, I'm going to take Clemson. I'm going to take them Tigers. I'm going to look at Georgia and the SEC now. Georgia and Mizzou in a battle for middle tiering in the SEC. I wonder, in the land of prognostication, if the SEC is going to go out there this year and beat the shit out of everybody in the tournament. There's been a ton of realignment. So some of them Big 12 schools have moved into the SEC. And then you look at the SEC overall, and it's like they're pretty much all 500, right? I mean, these guys are 3-2s. It just shows me like there's a big competitive balance now in the SEC with the realignment. And then they're going to go out and play some teams like A-10 teams, like a St. Louis. St. Louis finally gets ranked in the top 25. Watch Duquesne blow their barn doors off them tonight. I'm just saying, this is kind of the way I envision some of these spots going overall, and kind of looking back at year's history. I think the Big Ten will be okay. I mean, you get teams like Iowa fucking out there smashing 18-point favorites. You know, kind of makes sense. Georgia comes into this one. Not much movement in the world of movement at all. You have 50-50 as far as the bets. Truly 50-50 split, 14,555 tickets. You have 63% of the cash. 63% of the cash coming in on the Missouri -1.5. And with that kind of an edge, I would expect to see some type of movement. There's none. Totals come down 3 points from 166.5 to 163.5. 60% of the bets and 59% of the cash are on the over. So we got a number that's shrinking despite money coming in on the over. And when we see these tight ones, right, the like ones between the 1s and 2s, kind of, meaning they're between like a -2 and a +2, people will generally say, fuck the points, I'll just take the money line. So we want to try to dig in and see if the money line gives us a clearer picture. Remember, it was 50-50 on the spread, but 63% of the cash, right? No movement. Becomes even more exemplified here. -118 is the Missouri side of money line where it opened. It's dropped 3 cents to -115. Argue oscillating movement because it also correlated up on the other side with Georgia. 51% of the bets, 80% of the cash on the Missouri side of things. So all of that money coming in. And what do we have? No movement. If anything, begging you, take this Missouri spot. We have a lot of Missouri action and we want to take some more of it. And I'm going to fade it. I'm going to fade this Missouri side of things here. I like the fact that the line is not moving. I also like the ranked versus unranked matchups. I teased that in my research for the day as I broke through the card that I saw there's a lot of these games where you've got the ranked versus unranked, and the unranked might even be the home team, and they might even be getting a point or given a point. And so you question yourselves. And guess what? Don't do that. Right now, the ranked versus unranked opponents have gone 6 straight wins. You would expect it, but then people started fucking around and added that caveat about this team's the home team versus, well, they're home, and this is doesn't matter right now. It's not cashing. And I'm going to take Georgia, the number 21 team, to go out there and beat up on this Missouri spot. Going to be a close game, maybe even an overtime spot. But for me, I'm going to rock and roll. I'm going to take some Georgia Bulldogs. Jerry Davis going to go with Mizzou in the under, though. That's why it was the numbers, Jerry. Good luck to your under. I could get down with the under. Smoke and mirrors in the house. Do you not like Will Wade as the coach for NC State? I don't like anything about NC State. I don't care what fucking program it is. The only team I probably could get behind for NC State is their women's volleyball team. Let me take a quick look. Let me take a quick look so I can confirm this for you. I can't even get behind that. Can't even get behind that. I mean, you guys tell me. Is it me? I don't know. I don't know. I think I do know. I think I gave you the answer. No, I don't care who the coach is. I don't think I like anything about NC State. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. Jerry Davis says, Mikey, Georgia, 29% 3-point team. Shoot over 40% the last 2 home games. Well, you've got to expect that based on this time of the year, though, Jerry, right? Can't expect them to be shooting poorly all season long. I mean, I guess you can. But at some point, you got to expect they start hitting. And especially at home, it just validates that the team's getting its groove. Stella got their groove, and that's why they're ranked number 21, because they're starting to groove. We'll see. I'll write it down. I'll write this one down. My guy, Jerry Davis, likes Mizzou in the under. We'll keep our eyes on it. We'll see what happens. The Futon Bets likes Mizzou. I get it, but that's where I look at the advanced analytics. I mean, advanced analytics, if it was that easy, I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to make too much of one particular game. That's why I flat bet them all, though. You know, this is what kind of go back to what we've talked about time and again. It's hard to weight one spot any more than another, because if you get really married behind it, you end up getting fucked, and it's just not worth it, right? So everything kind of gets the same valuation for me, but I took Georgia on the money line. I got an even money spot. Should help my ROI if they cash. And then I'm going to jump in and take Auburn. Kind of a similar cap. You know, I talked about the parity in the SEC. You know, you look at their schedule, you look at their records. I mean, these teams are almost mirrors of each other. With the one thing being, we talked about the money coming in on Georgia, or I'm sorry, on the other side and the line not moving for Missouri. We got movement in this one. We got a lot of movement, in fact. 60% of the bets and 60% of the cash have come in on the Auburn Tigers. Ole Miss, welcome to life post a college football team. Sorry, Lane Kiffin's gone, and probably a bunch of your NIL dollars to go along with it. But that being said, this total's not really moving. 58% of the bets, 58% of the cash are on the Ole Miss under side of things here. And when we look at these tight numbers, we want to zoom in between the twos, practice what I preach. Let's look at the money line. 92% of the bets, 94% of the cash, like Auburn. And unlike that previous game, this line went from minus 134 to minus 160. I got to turn this. I got to turn the NC State women's volleyball team off here, because every time I look over at my big monitor, there's cheeks right there. So anyhow, this line's moved considerably. It's gone all the way up to 3.5. I mean, there's 3.5s widely around the marketplace right now. And I guess that's the problem, because how do you get into trusting either of these teams against the spread? That's kind of what I was looking at. Like, I like this thing being a lower score. I don't know about even lower scoring game. You know, I guess looking at the games, Auburn beats South Carolina. Well, SEC battle, but a big win in conference. They needed to pick that one up. And player malperformance, just not getting it done. And then Ole Miss on the other side of things here, kind of since their college football days ended, they got a little jolt. And I think this is like the, what are we going to call this? The spillover effect, I guess. The spillover effect. Everybody was jacked. Everyone was fucking bottled into a little community in Ole Miss to root for this big champion football team. They got big aspirations. They're all over the news because of Ling. Even the guy bagging the groceries, the 90-year-old guy working on the senior citizens program, he's jacked up about Ole Miss. There was nowhere to put that energy after they just got the carpet pulled out from underneath them. So it creates a spillover. And now Ole Miss basketball team, I mean, look at the date. Look at the time. Chris Beard isn't that fucking guy. We saw what he does in Texas. And yet, 3 straight SEC wins after starting off 8-7. So I think the spillover effect's real, but I think you're meeting a real opponent in this case here. That's not to say real opponents might not exist in terms of what they've kind of played in their pedigree here. But on the Ole Miss side of things here, you did just beat Georgia 97-95. Kind of like that one. They were 10.5-point dogs. There's that Mizzou team. Mizzou and Georgia playing each other here. 76-69. They beat them. I don't know. I feel like Auburn, and I said this the last time, Auburn versus Mizzou, I think, is the one that I talked to us and said, we're going to start getting Auburn and we're going to have to lay a price. And now here we are. So with my metrics that I draw out there and the analytics that I utilize, it tells us that we're going to have to start buying on this Auburn team. And when you play a bad offensive team or a below average offensive team, if you're Auburn specifically, Auburn as a favorite against a below average offense are 31-13. They've won 9 straight times. The line's moving in their direction. I think the spillover effect comes out. Now the national championship's done. Spillover, go bye-bye here. We're going to take the Auburn Tigers. We're going to lay the 3.5. And maybe you got in earlier today and you got a better number, but I will take the 3.5. I will move into the NBA. I will see if we can't put the boat on this show here and get it moving here. Got excited talking about some stuff today. I enjoyed the breakdown. Redbeard says it's the dogs, Mikey. Don't worry. Futon Bets likes Mizzou. All right. I'm looking forward to seeing these games tonight. I think last night I didn't like the college basketball. Last night, despite not liking the card, I had a really good card, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes here tonight. I'll tell you what, Lakers and Nuggets for me in this one. I got to take the Denver Nuggets here. It's a bounce back opportunity. I know they're hurt. I know they're beat up. I know they're battered and tattered here. But listen, if you believe in the zigzag, I do when it comes to nationally televised games. Wait for the outcome of the first one and then check and see, and you can maybe zigzag, whether it be the side or the total in this game. But I like the Nuggets. They got the Lakers. They know what's at stake. They know what's on deck. It's not the Lakers at home. It's the Lakers on the road. I know they're not healthy, but that Hornets game, I can dismiss the outcome because of the fact that they had the Lakers on deck. So you're not a healthy team. You're not very deep. You can go out there and battle against the Hornets, and we cashed. We saw that coming. But now you're giving me 2.5 points in a big game. 70% of the bets, 78% of the cash are on the Lakers money line. It's only moved 3 cents. 4 cents, excuse me. And 61% of the bets, 60% of the cash. I think this is trappy. They want you to take a public team in the Los Angeles Lakers. I get it. Nikola Jokic out. Cameron Johnson's out. Christian Braun's out. What can Aaron Gordon do for you? I think his over rebounds is what I would do. If you guys are looking for a player prop game out there, he's gone over 6.5 rebounds in 3 of his last 5. He didn't play against the Hornets, so he's rested. Coming in at an average in a spot where I think they go out there and win. So I'm going to take the Denver Nuggets at plus 2.5. The scumbag play of the day is in. The scumbag play of the day is in from our guy, Cody Norton. He says, Arkansas money line minus 115. He likes the Hogs. Go Hogs. Says our guy, Scud Blaster. All right, you guys, last game I got for you in the NBA. We're going to look at the Heat. We're going to look at the Sacramento Kings. And we're going to look at one of our favorite spots. I try to dig them up. I try to share them with you guys. That's what this show's all about. You guys go do what you got to do. I'll do what we need to do here to keep this thing buttoned down for us and find these trends when they exist. This thing's moved from -2.5 to -3.5. It's spent all day at 3.5. It's recently moved to 4.5. 46% of the bets, 51% of the cash are on the Miami Heat. Considerable movement. I've talked about the Kings being one of the worst teams in the league. It's not my opinion. It's a fact. They're 12-31. Now they are home. Gotta respect that. I'm not entirely sure. The Miami Heat we've done away with the shit list, but I don't like to see a team win one, lose one. That's the inconsistency brand for me that really it makes it hard to back a team like that. Obviously. Then I look at their opponents and I kind of think like, all right, well, they played OKC. They lost. They were 15-point dogs. They lost. They covered, but they lost at OKC. 3 games later, they're at home. They beat OKC outright as 11.5-point dogs. So, is OKC still the benchmark and the litmus test? No. I think the Spurs are the team that's going to win the Western Conference. But they lose to the Golden State Warriors 135-112 the other day, this Miami Heat team. And you got a team in the Kings that, as bad as they are, they're 4-1 in their last 5. They did just lose to Portland. They've had a nice little home stand out there. But the last trend I'll leave you guys with, it is a revenge opportunity. You want me to quantify it for you? I will. You lost at home as a favorite. Now you're a favorite on the road. You're 278 and 181. Pretty significant, about a 57% edge. Long term, if we put enough of these 55 to 65% winners on paper and go through and pick them, we're going to grind out 2-unit days, 3-unit days. We might even have some 8 or 9-unit days out there. But NBA favorites on a back-to-back against a rested non-conference opponent are a perfect 6-0. On top of that, that be the Miami Heat. I laid 3.5. If you're playing it, you're going to be laying it with that Miami Heat spot. And I'll remind you guys to go check out the Instagram play of the day. What did I say? We were 7-1 in our last 8. 7-1 in our last 8. There's a play posted out there for you guys, a big 1.5 or so video to get her done. And that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the conversation that we had today, you guys. So thank you for being here. Thanks for contributing. It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I will not be back here tomorrow, more than likely. But I will be back here on Thursday. So good luck to you guys. Get that betting action in there. Good luck with your tickets. Get that money. Grow those bankrolls, and I'll see you back here Thursday at 6 p.m. for pre-gaming. Have a great night. See you guys.